Mutt!
I apologize. God bless you.
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly, and I reckon you can help me.
The Assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king?
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
I must have misheard you. Our business will be over when I say it is, not before. So pull your head out your ass and see to getting me into that assembly.
All right, Jesus. No need to lose your temper. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Easy, easy. Nice and slow. Whoa!
Hail Mary.
When we catch a fella cheating, we can do whatever we see fit with him.
Like, break a few of his fingers.
Is there a problem here?
Oh, good fellow, you're heaven sent. Help me. They want to kick the shit out of me.
Listen, you better stay out of this. This doesn't concern you, so be on your way.
You saw nothing, heard nothing. Now off with you.
What did he do? Did he steal something?
Worse again, he cheated at dice.
That's not true.
Don't lie, you fuck!
Leave him alone. Do you get a kick out of threatening him when he's grovelling on the ground? That's pathetic.
Cheating is pathetic.
And it's not the first time he's done it. Last time, he got away with it, but today, he's going to pay for it.
Oh, have some compassion. I could be a widower by morning.
What's wrong with your wife?
She's sick, deathly ill.
Don't believe him. He lies like a dog, this one.
What's wrong with your wife? Describe the symptoms.
She's got cramps and fits, nasty ones. And her fingers are turning grey. One moment she's got the chills, the next she's boiling hot.
That sounds like St. Anthony's fire. Instead of playing dice in the tavern, you should be praying your wife survives.
Wait, you're nursing her at home?
And you're touching her?
Well, I have to. She's as frail as a petal.
Get away from me. You're gonna spread that vile plague.
Oh, quick! Let's get out of here before he touches any of us!
Let's go, before we catch something.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Show me your wares.
Pleasure doing business. God be with you.
I went to confession yesterday, and that old priest was completely hammered again.
Come and take a...
Pancakes.
Cabbage fly... Vegetables! Mushrooms!
I nearly left my...
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
But the thing is, that job is just my thing. And a fella could easily disgrace himself in front of the king. Do you feel up to it?
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pictures so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Come and take a look. What?
You lout!
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
He got as drunk as a lord. Totally pie-faced. Then he fell into a ditch, and now he's staggering around the streets, God knows where.
I might have expected. Once, he turned up with a hangover, and as soon as he smelt wine, he threw up all over the chapel door. I told him if that ever happened again, he was for the boot. Oh, well, you'll have to take his place for today. I've no time to find someone else. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap, and you don't have one at all. Without a tunic, you're no royal waiter, just a common alehouse. And have you forgotten your hose? I can't let you into the chamber without them. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something?
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter, after all. Not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons. Unverzüglich. Our current Waffenarsenal is
There
a
are the
joke.
pictures of
And
wine.
on top of that, the army was
Hopefully I won't splash
requisitioning from
anyone's
it.
shoes.
Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber
You
in
there,
the domain?
lad.
What
a cup
are
of
you
red.
getting at,
And don't you
Eldris?
skimp on me.
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that thing. That Hackenbücher.
I'm sorry.
Hand cannon. Can
I
you
wasn't
believe
paying
it?
attention.
Come now, waiter.
Where did
I
they
wanted
get
red.
I apologise, sir.
You're the one who should
Which
know
one?
where they got
Red.
them.
Am I
Since you're a
speaking?
gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
I'm sorry.
What is
I
it,
wasn't paying
Eldris?
attention.
You smell
Come
a
now,
deal?
waiter. I wanted
What I
red.
smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing
can shut
down,
that
and
damn
you
picture.
want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment.
I fancy some Tokai.
What if he heard you?
Refill,
What
boy.
then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom.
That's
and
not a
we're
good idea,
supposed
sir.
to defend
This
it
is
with
unbelievable.
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
brutes. We can always
White Tower,
confiscate
pour
the
me some
property of
monastery
the
wine.
king's enemies. Nicht
I
wahr?
apologise,
We
sir.
are more than familiar
one?
with the
Right.
Jämmerlich
Am I
state
speaking
of
in
our
Latin?
armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter
Monastery
to
wine
wreak
here.
havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
Sir?
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see
Well,
no solution
thank
of the
the
current
Lord.
situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht.
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
I'm sorry.
Baths or
I
brothels?
wasn't paying attention.
Isn't it the same thing?
I'd like some monastery wine. Refill my cup, boy.
So,
I
the
apologize,
cleanliness of the city
Which
is
wine?
not
Red and
what it
quickly.
should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty
I'm
is killed
sorry.
up in Hoprink and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a protege of Maresh. Her efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will
Monastery
succeed.
wine, here.
Takes a firm
That's not a
hand.
good idea, sir.
This
Soft,
is unbelievable.
feminine fingers.
A moment ago, you were complaining there weren't enough baths. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by trustworthy people, like my friend, bathhouse proprietor Adam. The need for cleanliness
More wine,
and
Master
citizens'
Bailiff.
health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning
I'd
God's
like some white.
plan?
I apologize,
The
sir.
Black Death had nothing
Which
to do
one?
with the baths.
Hawkeye.
Unless
Right.
the Lord wishes
Are you
to punish
deaf?
the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time
Yes,
because
sir.
we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all.
About
If you
time.
finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep coming back to it.
A trifle. Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
I got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until His
Wake up,
Majesty
pour
honors
me
us with
red
his
wine.
visit. And as we
I
know,
apologize, sir.
Gunslin absolutely hates
Red.
him.
And
He
quickly.
can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Good, sir.
That. Just a small misunderstanding.
Well,
We've
thank
sorted
the
it
Lord.
out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides,
Boy,
if his men
I'd like
attacked
some
yours,
white.
as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
I apologize,
What happened
sir.
there?
Which
Leave
one?
nothing out.
Hawkeye.
I don't like Rutard,
That's the
true,
white.
but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did
sir.
you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Rutard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to
Hey,
us
waiter.
first.
Pour me some
Knows
monastery
what
wine.
he wants to tell us.
I apologize,
Nothing
sir.
happened. There's
Which
no
one?
point in dwelling on it.
Monastery
Let's move on.
Red.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly. Why do I have the feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing
Sir?
me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend.
Well, thank the
Nobody
Lord.
said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around the town. Yes, Rutard and I had a little disagreement, but we ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts.
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If you really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school brought this custom to us.
Waiter,
it's now
get
run
me
by the
what?
German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous, Forsucker. You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse
I
a
apologize, sir.
swordsmaster without
Which
a shred
one?
of proof.
Tokai! That's the
We're
white!
not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff.
sir.
And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
Hang around me.
More
Vanish!
pressing than
You
the
hear me?
open contempt of the whole town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughing stock of the
Waiter.
whole town.
You can rest assured the whole town is already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one
Refill,
more
sir.
reason?
Do you think I come to the council
My
just to
words
guzzle wine?
exactly.
Come here.
The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor
I
Charles.
apologize.
And no one is left unscathed.
And you,
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
Like this, why waste our time?
I really shouldn't, sir.
A fine servant you are.
Since there's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals, the building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses. It's just a village with a monastery,
waiter.
and they are going to
Pour me
Mockeroil
some
mining
monastery
city.
wine.
Why
I
can't we build
apologize, sir.
faster?
Which
Hire
one?
more craftsmen,
Ben,
start
am
with
I
night shifts.
speaking in Latin?
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Good,
Oh, you
sir.
do? Do you? And what would that be?
What have you
Like,
poured
for
for me?
instance,
I
that
said
you'd like to
red.
have your own
Sorry, sir.
altar there?
So
won't
what if
happen
I
again.
would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen. That space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to
Okay.
insult me?
And a full
Ah!
cup.
I think not.
I apologize, sir.
Excuse me.
Which wine?
You wanted
White
to buy yourself
Tokai.
an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still
Sir?
provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment
Now
to
run
the
along.
army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Oprik.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me.
Because it has all been sorted out.
Hey, waiter, pour me some Tokai.
Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all
I
out.
apologize, sir.
Ah, yes, I had
Which one?
forgotten.
Tokai.
What do we have to
That's the
discuss
white.
next?
Good, sir.
Thank you, waiter.
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Gycegösse, a legion Katonaikat, is Kelkinek Udra.
have nothing to fear. Not you.
Like this planet falls!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories? And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say?
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. Wine, women, and song.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Greetings to you too.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here.
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Kuttenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Do you want to make use of the council to improve the status of Jews in the city?
Not at all. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. You have men and weapons.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer?
Everything in good time, Samuel.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give.
You don't even know if you can trust them.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. But we did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of...
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
I'm glad you finally accepted my invitation.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin. A friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauclin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also... à ma manière, hein?
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais! Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not.
How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. And only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. Do tell me about it.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me.
Then, what are you doing here, at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the Council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like... Yeah, we'll all win.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
I'll tell you, nobody had...
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without a by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
Hey, innkeeper, that beer?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then, I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
And he's got plenty to learn from Christopher.
You want satisfaction? Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back. You're fast.
Look in my eyes, not at my sword.
I'm wounded. Did they teach you that in the seminary?
Arm lower.
That was sneaky.
Swing with your whole arm, not just your wrist. You don't know which end of that thing is up.
You're fast. Ah! 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 Enough!
God be with
That will do.
Well, good day.
Stop that whistling. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days?
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
That's exactly why we must... That's the way.
Look out!
I ain't letting that bastard go. Next time, I'll kill him. I will, if he so much as looks at it. I swear I won't be able to stop myself. I beg your pardon?
Another war.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only...
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property, ideals go out the window.
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept.
Am I supposed to open my mouth and wait for it to rain?
Hey, innkeeper, that beer?
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
He may be young, but he's got something between his ears. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our alliance.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Take a look at that.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
With the niece of Sir Bushek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Bushek of Kunstadt? The Bushek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sasa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
I must sadly decline, sir.
Huh. I'll take that personally.
that he
Ja,
should
noch
go and
mehr,
fuck
bitte.
himself. Hmm?
Sabuchek, your niece Yivka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed? Without reservations?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Caitlin.
Here's to a good bargain. And that's exactly why. Tankard of ale, thanks.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood.
Better make sure you're among them.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his. But if not...
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just...
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad.
May God grant him eternal rest. Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress. It's quite unusual to see
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze. And the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance. Maybe on the field of battle?
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the boat.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here. Like Ruthard.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That'd be enough to make a man mad. Not to mention that his son was killed in the siege of the city.
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place. There's some old bat standing there with 2 young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
You're going to get married.
Good one. Is she at least pretty?
I don't know. I've never seen her.
You're really a barrel of laughs, Godwin. Wait till Hannah hears this. Now, enough nonsense. Let's have a drink to your health and my freedom.
To your health.
How are you getting on so far?
Aside from the happy family reunion, everything is going according to plan.
I'd almost forgotten about that little detail.
Father is getting old. There were times when he could keep yelling at me half the day.
Keep it up. We've still got a lot of work to do. Just don't overdo it with the one...
Sir Kunzlin, I haven't yet had the pleasure.
You're Godwin, aren't you? I've heard about you from Martin.
Oh dear.
Have no fear.
Will you support Margrave Jobst's plan?
That depends on what it is.
Do you think we should look for help somewhere else?
I came here for one reason alone. To hear a plan of attack against Sigismund. If Jobst doesn't lay one out before me, I'll try and find someone more courageous.
I expect you know Lady Anna of Waldstein well.
Why wouldn't I?
I hope she doesn't feel unwelcome here. I've heard she's a bit of a thorn in the side for some of the gents here.
To her own relatives, certainly. Anna cared for him devotedly till the day he died.
So it's not true what they say?
Vile slander.
What do you think of the rabbi's offer?
Or nothing. To be honest, I've no idea what to expect of the rabbi's offer.
He said he was interested in an alliance, though.
Aye, but still he must be aware that whatever happens, it won't change the lot of his people.
So you don't trust him?
And isn't it natural? They live in our city. God be with you.
Your Grace, may I disturb you for a moment?
Certainly.
Godwin, I came with the lords from Rattay.
Ah, now I remember. Forgive me.
Lord Liechtenstein asked me for help, in our collective interest. But if you'll allow me, sir, I'd like to ask you a few questions. so I'm clear about what I can do to help.
Indeed. And what would you like to know?
Your plan, if I may be so bold, has a few gaping holes. Sigismund may attack anywhere and anytime. You want to wait, fine. But you should at least give some assurance to the lords that they'll live to see it through.
You amuse me, Godwin. I know you mean well.
I'd reason better with an army at my back.
Do you realize how much such an army costs?
And if a way could be found, and the means...
Before that happens, Sigismund will take his shoes off and head off to Rome barefoot.
Do you still think the lords will agree at the end of the day?
That's the way of politics. Some are persuaded by silver.
And if none of that does the trick?
Such cases usually end in quarrels between former allies.
John of Liechtenstein is acting in your interest, isn't he?
That was the original agreement. And on the outside, it still looks that way, I trust.
But it was you who sent him to Kudenberg, wasn't it?
True. And by doing so, he put both himself and our common interests in jeopardy.
Sir, I don't believe I've had the honor.
Nor I, until now. I am Sir Conrad, Lord of Wächter.
Used to be. My father somewhat disowned me some...
And I used to be the Royal Mint Master, until the King decided to replace me.
Are you going to support the Margrave's proposal?
I haven't quite decided yet, but if our rebellion were to come face to face with Sigismund's army, I'd be risking my future, if not my life.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you.
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
You manage large estates. In return for your generosity, we offer you protection.
I've managed quite well up to now, taking care of my own resources. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain...
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
Take a look at that.
What brings you here?
An old grievance.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Milady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them?
This is going to be a long story.
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
Yes! The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas!
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt. Are not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly. We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you are harsh, rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the King's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sir.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities. And get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rebush. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosh will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No, we shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rebush falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Surely you don't want to look. The Margaret Lobster. Didn't he say that Lord Kronstadt was going with them? Ah, so what? He left a long time ago. I swear to God.
I bet you made it all up anyway. I will just call you Papa.
Excuse-moi. Half of the French
How would you like a wine, Chevalier?
The art of winemaking has a long tradition in La Belle France. Recipes are passed on from father to son. I myself was practically raised on wine. Even the French royal court took note of my refined taste. The king himself had wine delivered for his table according to my advice.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels rolled out. Now, if you'd only known he had a real connoisseur here.
Best barrels? Mon ami, this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary. Give me a hundred nights in
I couldn't resist it either. The sausages were awesome.
Friend! You in need of something, my wild.
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. So, to brighter tomorrow. Touching. Come now. What's become of your poetic soul?
I never had one.
Truly?
Well, maybe once.
See now. Only there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of week-old bread after all.
Well, get something wet for us.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it as far as the keg.
To hell with that keg slop. Your father surely has something better stored away. I had my eye on him all evening. He had pictures brought from somewhere for himself and his closest friends, and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it. Get sniffing quick.
King Wenceslas.
You're right. I don't know about you, but I... So you see? Best thing though.
What? I'm talking about fucking singers like you, twat.
Come on, someone will see us.
Hey, they won't. Come here. Let's drink to that.
To King Wenceslas.
Come on, someone will see us.
Hey, they won't. Come here.
Stand over that ditch. I couldn't resist you either. The sausages were awesome.
Having a good time?
It's a fucking bore. These old farts here have no idea what fun is.
Well, what are you missing? There's one.
I'd rather have a game of dice.
Don't you dare get into a fight with anyone. You know what a fuck-up that would be.
Aye, I forgot. Only the younger Lord of Rabors is allowed to give anyone here a pasting. Leave it out. No, they wouldn't have to force me. That young nitwit was asking for it anyway.
Well, let's have a game then. But for what?
For coin. What else?
Let's make it 50 groschen to...
Aye.
God be with you.
I'll be with you.
Greetings.
And with you?
I appreciate your friendship.
How come you're still here, sir? Weren't you supposed to travel with Sir Hanush?
All hail Jobst. He sorted out things here nicely. But you know how it goes. I explained to the Margrave that I'm not going anywhere. I'm too old and fond of my comfort.
Did you at least discuss with Hanush where the wedding will take place?
Nothing to discuss. It'll be at our castle Potstein, of course. It's the pride of our family. We can fit in 3 times more people than here.
Ah, but there are 2 castles in Rattay. I'd bet my right arm old Hanus will want to have the wedding there.
What? In Rattay? Well, I ought to look into that then.
But deal with him yourself, though.
G'day.
What kind of name?
Just look at him.
But you can hardly stand straight, Martin.
Full up. You're changing.
Excellent. Excellent.
God be with you, my friend. G'day.
I've got some warm wood downstairs. They'll all need it in the morning.
You farmyard beast! Maybe I should add some spices. I spent half the day.
From murdering the lords one by one.
Do you get it, Father? Please, call me Rabbi, Lord Capon.
Oh, whatever. Fuck it.
And you should not curse either.
See? You talk exactly. And then you will wake up in a ditch somewhere with a mighty hangover.
Othering maybe an old pinch person. But when it comes... Flashes out like this.
Lister was brown-eyed, though.
What? I'm talking about fucking Sigismund, you twat. I love my Alishka.
All right.
Hey?
Sorry, I haven't eaten so well in a...
Come here.
The sooner he's gone, the sooner life returns to this country.
Let's drink to that.
To King Wenceslas.
Oh, you do it. Oh, like a queen.
If the Queen did this, there wouldn't be no war.
Just a bit longer.
Aye, you already said that.
What? I'm talking about fucking Sigismund, you twat.
And just stand over right. All right. Sorry.
I couldn't resist you either.
Get his old arse into the sun.
Roast piglet.
Beast!
I spent half the day scrubbing that floor.
If he was so favored as to run away
away from the first army that crossed his path. You couldn't think of fancier name.
At least you can tell by the name.
What kind of name was Phallus anyway? Was Cephalus.
The red'll be good. Well.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootard. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you beat it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of your fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Hey! Hey! Intruders! Enemies at the gates!
Seize the nobles! Kill the rest!
Jesus! The surrounding Christopher! He can't make it on his own.
Hey! Come and help me with this bastard! Never saw that coming! Yoko! Come on! Let's see what you're made of! One step back! Stand your ground!
Yeah! Don't despair! You won't be able to take another one like that!
Right! That's enough!
Yeah!
Help me!
Yo! It's on the nugget! Jesus!
Quick!
Right!
Whoa!
Now I'll...
Good. I still can't quite do that. He's had it.
Jesus Christ!
Now you're mine, you.
Get him! Yeah! Don't spare it!
What are you hopping about for? This?
He's had it done here.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Do my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get...
Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't.
They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Kunrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein. She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother. But only almost. Good luck.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. Nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally. The same as Rutard and Botchek.
Well, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway.
Where did they go?
They've got to raise an army for us.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while. Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, and he'll hang the lords.
Is there anything we can do?
Definitely not right now. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to ransack the Jewish quarter. That is, he ordered it, more like.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there. They could reveal a lot.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing. I can just see them all jumping to their feet and rush to save their poor Jews. Maybe Samuel will figure something out.
He wanted to talk to you anyway.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi.
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher first. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up,
Good to see you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know, I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Owlet surprised even Sigismund with that.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein and many other nobles. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on us.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. Very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
We can only hope.
You did. But I still insist that it was necessary.
What have we gained?
Sam, I need to have a word with you.
Uh-huh. That makes two of us.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to Godwin. He said you know each other?
What did he talk about? Me?
We talked about your stepfather, Martin.
Why?
It's true, I did not. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? Well, the thing is, I am Martin's son.
What? Pa's son? How did...
Yes, his son. That is, his bastard son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with me and Ma as long as I can remember.
When I was born, he was already long gone.
And what does that make us then?
Nothing. You know, all my life, I thought if I did not give a shit about that man, it would be easier. But now that I know I will never see him.
I can tell you about him if you want. But now is not the right time. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the Jewish quarter.
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking horse.
What's a Gezerah?
That is hard to explain.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid. We need to get back into the city and get the people out. Quick, before it begins. Will you come with us, Henry?
I'll come. And Liechtenstein already knows about it too.
Very well. We should get going right up.
Let's not waste time.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka? What brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it too, if you know what I mean, but...
Could you stop blabbering already? We don't have the time.
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can, come with us and help us.
All right. I'll explain to you on the way. Time is running out.
Are you coming too, Sir John?
Of course.
But do you think that's a good idea? No offense, sir, but you're no great warrior.
I'm not. But I'm not just going to sit here and wait.
All right, then. Let's go.
Peresh, can we go any faster?
Settle down, son. If you must keep your tongue busy, then use it to pray.
Would you tell me what the fuck is going on already?
Sigismund ordered an attack on the Jewish quarter. We need to get everyone out of there fast.
Bloody hell. I just got ailed up so nicely today.
Oh, that is just great. My mother's life is in the hands of a drunkard.
Don't worry. We'll save your mother.
And everyone else too. Don't forget that.
You seem to care an awful lot about these people, sir.
Are you surprised? It's all my fault. If they weren't helping me...
That droid of Sigismund, may his name be erased, would have found some other excuse to get rid of us.
Look, it's not that I don't feel sorry for you, but don't you think maybe we could make the horses go a little faster? At this pace, we won't make it there in a week.
We really should pick up the pace.
All right. Schnell! Schnell!
What's the matter? Why are we stopping?
We will walk from here. We cannot drive right into those murderers' arms.
But how do we get into the town then?
We will go through Sheol.
There are many abandoned mine shafts under the town. One of them ends here.
Won't it collapse on our heads?
We'll find out soon enough.
Follow me.
What a blessing it is to have found the passageway.
Killed our savior.
What did you just say?
Nothing, I'm just blabbering.
I dare you to say that again. Loud and clear.
You know what, sir? Just ignore me and be glad I'm here. And you up front, pick it up a little kurva. My arse is getting numb.
get all the way here, it is all over.
I think I must have just imagined. Let's keep moving. This way, Henry.
What a blessing it is to have found the passageway.
Killed our savior.
What did you just say?
Nothing. I'm just blabbering.
I dare you to say that again. Loud and clear.
You know what, sir? Just ignore me and be glad I'm here. And you up front, pick it up a little curva. My arse is getting numb.
We have to go this way. Hopefully we'll find it quickly. I left a stack of my papers in the tavern. And if they fall into Sigismund's hands, people in other towns will die too.
Do you think we're gonna make it in time? To find the papers? Save the people?
I pray we can, Henry. There's nothing more I can do. Hopefully everything will be all right at the tavern. My stash is locked away, and Samuel's friends are guarding the place. But who knows what the situation is like in the streets now.
Are you afraid?
Me? Do you have any idea how many times I've had to run from a burning town or deal with a hired assassin?
Yeah. More than once, I reckon.
A lot more, I can tell you. But I admit, I was afraid every single time. Damn it.
What's the matter?
The door leading up to the tavern is open. Samuel's men wouldn't have left it like this. Somebody else must have got in.
I'll go upstairs and see if anyone is still there.
I hope so. If they took anything from down here, they mustn't get out alive. I'll gather up my things in the meantime. I'll meet you outside the tavern.
can't leave now.
What an important document looks like. I ain't never seen none.
I'll beat you.
You won't get me!
Baruch Hashem, Henry. You're all right.
Sam, you're back already? How does it look outside?
A few of the cutthroats got in over the walls, but we dealt with them. But there are more outside the gate.
4 of them were here in the tavern, too.
Fortunately, they didn't take anything important. But your friends paid for it with their lives.
What?
I'm so sorry. If it's any consolation, Henry here has already taken care of those cutthroats.
But they didn't look like they just came to the tavern by chance. Eric must have sent them. What about your mother? Is she all right?
She is, thank God. I told her to get ready, and we would come for her right away.
I'm really sorry about your friends. We got here too late.
There was nothing you could do. Benavis Hamardes. This Eric is really pissing me off. I've never laid eyes on him, yet I cannot wait to wring his neck.
There'll be plenty of time for that later. We have to go now.
I'm sure Mama is waiting for us. We have to take her to the shul.
You go ahead. I'll lock the tavern and block the secret passageway so no one else can get in.
But sir, if any more of them come here,
I can take care of myself. Now go. God be with you.
Sei kommen! Lass mir schnell zur Schule laufen!
Oh, Himmel! What's the matter? Where's Sam?
Don't worry, Ma'am. He sent me to take you to him.
Mein Gott! What happened to him?
Nothing. He's out on the street helping the wounded. Let's go now. We're out of time.
Wait! Who are you
My name is Henry. I'm, Do you remember Martin, the blacksmith?
Of course I do.
I'm his... son.
Was sagst du?
Sam told me that...
Watch out! More are coming! Run to the back, it might be safer there!
What's going on?
Sam, are you all right?
I'm fine, but we will talk when you are safe. Now run!
We have to get to the synagogue. But how?
Through the backyard. Follow me. Watch out! They're shooting at us! From the ramparts! Get rid of them! Hashem, they're gone. We have to keep going. Through the yards. That is you to the left. Can you help them?
Please leave her alone, or...
We cannot get past the wagon. We have to go this way. Through the house.
Even your
Come
own
on,
mummy
then.
will not recognize
Show
you now. Was glaubst du? Keine Gnade.
Mummy, are you all right?
I'm fine. But what about you, mein Kind?
I'm still alive. We can talk later. Now, we have to go.
What the hell?
What is it, fuckers? Rather slaughter women and the defenseless?
Let's go! What's going on up there?
Go inside. Quick.
The fucking task.
I've never been so glad to see you two.
In need of a helping hand, are you?
No, I just don't want to die here alone.
There they are.
Well, now we're really fucked.
Mustn't get inside. We have to hold them back.
For how long, though?
As long as we need to.
We'll rid this place of you, scum! Gotta be stand proud! Fucking hell!
You're a schmutzig Kopf.
Show what you're made of! Place of you, scum! Don't smash him! Take that!
You're looking for some ducky shit.
Good strike.
Jesus! Smack him on the head!
Whacking, you bastard! Show!
Hey, not enough?
On the head! Blood! I'll trace you!
Still standing? It's 5 in the morning. Just get
What the fuck is that?
God made a joke when I made you. Hey!
Shit! Take that!
I'll sort you out nicely.
Kill them! I'm going to forgive you. I'm bleeding! I'm waiting, you bastard!
No, you don't. Help me. You wounded me badly.
In the name of our Lord!
Come to me, someone.
True blood, yeah! Try that shit! True blood, yeah! No chance! Bring it! Jesus for mercy!
See, you shit. You're no match for me.
Show your style!
I'll sort you out like this.
Come on!
Come on! Everyone's inside!
Henry, come on! Let's go!
God mogen meer.
Let's go. It's this way.
Damn. That was a close shave. I reckon I should go to Samuel's mother and talk to her about Martin. I won't get another chance.
Surely we cannot just leave them here like this. There's nothing we can do now. Don't worry, even if that happens.
Are you alright?
I'm fine, lad. I thank you for everything.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Mein Gott, boy. Have you not helped us enough already? Now we have to manage on our own.
I know this might not be the best time, but... do you think we could talk about Martin?
Right now? Well... all right then. How is Martin, actually?
He died. It's only been a few months.
Oh, the hen of Schutzurra.
Sigismund burned down my village. Pa went to help Ma, and... well... they both died there.
I am sorry to hear that, lad. But that is the Martin I knew. He always put others first. At least you survived. That would make Martin happy.
Well, I'm sorry I don't have better news to give you.
Do not worry about it. I am just sad he died before he could meet Samuel.
Is everything all right?
Yes, do not worry. We were just talking about Martin.
But why would Martin leave you?
My Martin would never leave me. My father found out we were seeing each other and did his best to drive him away. But Martin would not give in, and we kept seeing each other. Until one day, I was ubore.
That means pregnant.
Yes. My father knew that if word got out, he would not be able to avoid the shame. I did not even have time to tell Martin the news. I was gone for almost 4 years, and he only let me come back when he was sure people had accepted it.
Did Martin not go looking for you when...
People said he did go looking for me.
If only he had gone all the way to Prague.
Even if he went to the very edge of the world, it would not have been enough.
All right. That's about it.
Before you go, tell me, what was Martin like as a father?
Well, he was strict with me, but not too much. Especially in the forge, he worked me hard. So I dream about him quite often. About that last day and what he said to me while we were forging a sword together. He said a life of adventure can be over before it begins. And that blacksmithing might be a dull job, but I keep my head on my neck.
He was absolutely right.
Well, look at me now.
You saved all our lives. He raised you well.
I'm sorry to keep you this long, but... well, I never thought I'd have a brother, even if not related by blood.
Well, I did not expect that either. And thank you, my almost brother. If it was not for you, I do not know how today would have ended. What are your plans now?
I'll go back to the Devil's Den. To Zizka and the others. We need to figure out what to do next.
I will see you there then. But first, I have to escort everyone to Colleen.
Everything should be all right now.
Take care of yourself, dear brother. I will see you this time tomorrow at the Devil's Den.
Have a safe journey.
Sei gesund.
Stop for a moment, good sir. We're on the search for heretics and sorcerers, and I'd like to ask you some questions. So hear me. I am Brother Adalbert from the Order of Preachers, charged by the Holy Father in Rome to root out all heresy. On our travels through this region, we've heard talk of many sightings of a sorcerer who devotes himself to the dark arts at night. They say he looks like a young man, but his heart is black. He travels the region on a horse, accompanied by a dog, and smells of herbs. He wears heavy armor to conceal the weakness of his soul and character, and tends to be armed.
Stop, noble sir. I'm no fool. I can see I closely resemble the sorcerer you're looking for, but I assure you it's just a coincidence. Or maybe you've been misled by someone with wicked intentions. Perhaps it's a trick by the very sorcerer you're looking for.
Oh, yes. That is just what an exposed sorcerer would say. But if you are telling the truth, prove your words by offering sincere prayer to our Lord Almighty.
Did you deliberately say you're from the Roman Pope? That was to distance yourself from Benedict of Avignon, wasn't it? It's a sad time for the Mother Church when you have to stress your loyalty to Rome, even to a wayfarer in the middle of Bohemia. Maybe instead of hunting for sorcerers, you should head to the Sedlets Monastery. There, you'll find King Sigismund. You can persuade him to release his brother, the rightful king of the Romans. Then Wenceslas and his brother can go to Rome to receive the imperial crown and put an end to this terrible schism.
You're right. This is a difficult time for the Church, but in my judgment, it is not for secular rulers to interfere in this state of affairs, for they are the ones who caused it. Nevertheless, I must stay true to my mission. I see you are a man of learning, though. Therefore, you must not be the village sorcerer I have heard about. Please accept my apology. I will continue my search. So go in peace, and be vigilant. For the minions of hell are on the hunt for souls in this region. Jesus Christ be praised.
Watch where you're going!
What do you want?
I need to take a load off.
Certainly. We're open.
I could use the company of a pretty bath maid.
Don't worry. Once my girls get their hands on you, you'll forget all your sorrows. At least for a little while.
I can't wait.
Excellent. Pay up, and we can get started.
I'll gladly pay you.
Excellent. I'm sure you'll be very satisfied.
I didn't know a man could be that flexible. I'd be happy to do that again sometime.
Again?
I bring bad news from Kuttenberg. Eric's soldiers and the town rabble have torched the Jewish quarter. Fortunately, we saved most of the people. But I doubt they can form an alliance with us now.
Fuck. Where are they now?
Samuel and the rabbi took those who survived to Colleen.
Shit. We have to find Dry Devil and Capon and decide what to do next.
Well, Samuel said he wants to be around for that, and we should wait for him.
I see. But if he's gone to Colin, he won't be back till tomorrow. Oh well, at least we'll have time to get everything ready.
All right. I'll come tomorrow then.
Good afternoon. God bless you. What do you want?
I'd like to use your service.
And...
Prepare me a hot bath.
excellent.
I'll gladly pay.
Great.
Ave Maria.
Good boy. Were you at the last mass? I didn't see you there. Just as well.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Why not? Today, fighting with a longsword is in fashion. And why not? It's a great weapon. But in the end, it's all just a matter of taking out that bastard who's against you, isn't it? No one...
That sounds good.
All right. As long as you're not all thumbs, we'll get... All you need to do is, during a deep thrust, the opponent... And now, come and try it a few times. Good.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Why not? I've seen you fight. I'll show you how to take out your opponent without... Aye, I can see. The trick is about speed and surprise, if you do it fast enough. And now, come and try it a few times.
I'd like to learn a new combat technique.
Certainly. If you're a good lad. Or how to quickly send the bastard who's against you to the devil. But it can only be done... Of course. The main thing is to attack from above. If you do it right. And now, come and try it a few times.
Why did they want to hang you?
I reckon my face bothered them. More likely they're pissed off I'm not a hypocritical fucker like they are.
And that's a reason for
Unlike the hypocrites in the League of Lords.
I know they call you Dry Devil.
Aye. They call me a lot of things, laddie. And that's what rankles the Lords. That I'm getting rich at their expense.
So you're on the King's side?
I'm on the side of whoever pays me, lad. My noble word is my oath.
Have you been at war?
Aye. You're just a yokel.
You're an experienced warrior.
Not a damn thing. But first, bring me some good one.
All right.
Good lad.
I need to get better at defending myself with a...
That weapon's not worth shit. All right then.
Can we fight together?
Do I look like I have time for that now? No, I don't. Drop by when I'm at the pen.
I'll be right with you.
Can we start the meeting? We don't have much time.
Aye, we're all waiting for you. Right, gentlemen. I think it's clear to all of you what a shitty fucking mess we're in. We were caught off guard at Rabosh.
And they nearly fucking kill us all.
Yes, and they attacked the Jewish quarter.
Thanks a lot for reminding me. I almost forgot.
At least Henry here and Kubyenka got most of the people out.
That's true. Good work, men. How did it all go down?
Well, to tell the truth, we were lucky as hell. We got there before it all started in earnest. That's why we managed to get those people out.
Lucky my arse. We gave those bastards a thrashing. They thought they'd loot and torch the whole place, but we scared them shitless.
It is nice that you found my people's suffering so entertaining. But what I want to know now is how you all intend to avenge them.
Well, what do you have in mind?
We shouldn't give up. That's the main thing.
Except that Sigismund has the League of Lords and a whole fucking army. And what do we have? Fuck all! Come on, lads. Jobst will bring his army soon. It'd be fucking mad to try on anything big before that.
It might take weeks for them to arrive. Von Berghoff will have found and caught us by then. We have to get rid of Von Berghoff. It's because of him that we're in the situation we're in, after all.
You mean in the shit, Sir Hans? No need to mince words.
Sir Hans here is right. It's starting to piss me off the way Von Berghoff's been stringing us along all this time.
That fucker is Sigismund's right hand. So we'll chop it off.
Why kill him? You know what ransom we can get for that bastard.
Are you all fucking daft? Von Berger was holed up in Malashov, so unless any of you can fly, we can't get to him.
Oh, that's true. To take a cost like that, we'd need a dozen men, ladders, and maybe also a trebuchet or cannon.
There's no maybe about it. We'd certainly need a cannon.
So we steal the one von Berghoff, used at Nebakov.
Well, why don't we just steal all the silver from the Italian court and buy our own, eh? Use your head before you open your mouth.
Hang on. Maybe Janosch's idea isn't all that bad.
How do you mean?
I recently sent Catherine to spy on Sigismund's military camp near Opatovitz. She told me Von Berghoff has his cannon stashed away there. But it seems things are getting a bit out of hand there. So the Prague regiment he's in charge of is going to move it to Sedlets. And it might not be that well guarded along the way.
So we'll steal it, right? We'll wait till they go through some ravine, and we'll shoot at them from the rocks. The way you did to us before Nebakov.
I see you've learned something from me. But it's not that simple. What we need is for one of us to get amongst the Pragas, so he can keep an eye open and tell us when they're moving out.
And if we succeed? What then? There's 5.5 of us. Even with a cannon, that's not enough to take Malashov.
There's not much we can achieve on our own.
But show me the fool who'd want to join us.
There's always a few mercenaries around, right?
And how are you going to pay them, eh? I sure as fuck haven't got the coin.
That's enough! Von Berghoff has to die. Painfully, and above all, as soon as possible. And if there are not enough of you, this might help.
Well, well. That's a sight for sore eyes. Why the fuck didn't you show us that earlier? We could have saved ourselves a lot of blathering.
We really appreciate it, son. Believe me.
And we won't mind if you got a couple of more purses like that.
If you will permit, monsieur, I might be able to contribute. I know a few mercenaires in this part. They may not be la cavalerie royale, but for such a purse, they will gladly tear Malashov down stone by stone.
Ah, a company of mercenaries, a surprise attack, and a cannon in reserve. We could do something with that, couldn't we?
No, not so fast. We don't have the cannon yet.
Then we'll fucking get it. We'll find a good spot for an ambush and send someone into the camp to spy on them. What about you, Henry?
You'll get yourself recruited into the Prague Regiment, and when they take the cannon to Sedlitz, you'll send us a message via Catherine.
Me again? Well, at least I'll see Catherine.
Well now, has the youngster here fallen in love?
That's settled then. Henry will go to the camp. Catherine will tell you all you need to know. You'll find her in the bathhouse there. In the meantime, Ada here can go to Malashov and find out how von Burkhoff and his people are stationed there. But look, don't touch.
Za kogo ty mnie kurwa masz?
A lot of soldiers need a lot to eat. We'll have to stock up.
I'll go hunting. This tavern's a bit crammed for my liking as it is.
And what are we going to do?
We're going to prepare a warm welcome for the Praguers.
What do you say, Sir Hinek?
Well, what the fuck are you all sitting here for? Didn't you hear? The fun's about to start!
Henry, can I have a word? Henry, you have no idea how glad I am to see you alive and all in one piece. I was really worried about you. I prayed to Our Lady the Protector to watch over you in Kuttenberg. It's good she heard my pleas.
Thanks for putting in a good word. It definitely came in handy. Lots of violence and death, countless foes. We could have easily kicked the bucket any moment.
God damn! What happened there?
I don't know if words are enough. Simply... it was just like Skalitz. Confusion, screaming, dying... and then the flames. The worst part came when the gate fell. It was as if the bloody gates of perdition opened for a moment, and hell surged into the world.
God protect us! God damn it! I should have gone there too. I could have been some use at least.
I'm always glad to fight by your side. But you wouldn't have changed anything there. There were too many of them. And when the whole street was thronged, there was no stopping it. All we could do was try to hold back Eric's people as long as possible. See, there's a hidden tunnel inside it, leading...
Fucking tunnels! Ugh. But thank Christ for them. What about Liechtenstein?
He's fine. And he managed to get those mysterious documents of his out. He left with the survivors for Colleen.
Praise God. He's from an old and glorious house. It'd be a dreadful pity if he got left behind. The main thing is you got out. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to thank you properly for coming to Malashov for me.
No need to thank me.
I beg to disagree, my brave and faithful companion. First and foremost, be it known that if you should ever similarly find yourself in captivity, I swear before our Lord Jesus Christ that I shall come for you as you came for me. And secondly, I have something here for you. A truly knightly reward for your knightly deed. A hunting bow that has no equal in the province. I hope it'll brighten your thoughts after all those horrors. It can fell the mightiest buck deer and enchant many a doe.
Well, I'm honored. Thank you, friend. Just a moment. This bow looks familiar. I believe I saw it among Margrave Job's things.
Good heavens. You really don't miss anything, do you? When I found out that Jobs would gladly leave me locked up, it got my blood up. So, to pay him back, I relieved him of the bow in Raborsch. And it was immediately clear to me that that bow should go to none other.
That is certainly... just, I'd say.
I knew we'd see eye to eye. It'd be great to try that bow out right away. Wine, bacon, wine, the deep woods, a quiver full of arrows.
We only went hunting together once.
But it was memorable. Don't tell me you wouldn't like to do it again. Because, as you yourself heard, there's no reasonable mission here for the noble lord of Leiper and Perkstein. So all I can do is head to the woods and make sure we don't die of hunger here. You'll come with me, right?
That's a good idea, actually. Where should we go?
I found this great spot in the forest near Bohuniewicz. I thought you might like to come with me. What's more, it's on the way to Sigismund's camp.
Let's go then.
Great. Saddle your horse and get ready. I can smell the game from here.